Hey class, we're still in part one, the structure of the retail industry. Let's talk about retail locations. Unplanned shopping districts. There are two different types of districts, central business districts and secondary business districts. Let's discuss central business districts. Early retail shopping districts arose as shops opened in the heart of cities. These areas became known as central business districts or CBDs. They are also commonly referred to as downtown. CBDs house the flagships of many department stores, oftentimes with more than one department store that rivaled the next. Along with department stores, specialty stores, and national specialty chains also called CBDs home. Since CBDs were unplanned shopping districts, there was no strategy for the placement of stores. However, larger CBDs would categorize themselves by the type of goods stores carried, such as jewelry, furniture, and apparel. In today's market, CBDs rarely exist except for in high tourist areas such as Chicago and San Francisco. What caused the demise of CBDs? As automobiles became more accessible, consumers' dependence upon public transportation diminished. Public transportation no longer routed loads of riders to downtown areas, hence a decreasing number of consumers that visited CBDs. Although shoppers own their own vehicles, traffic congestion as well as the inconvenience and expense of parking lessens the attractiveness of CBDs. Once considered a safe central hub for retail shopping, CBDs became perceived as unattractive in unsafe areas due to increased crime in urban decaying cities. As urban cities decayed, consumers migrated to suburban areas, ultimately sealing the fate of CBDs. As retail centers developed in suburban areas and the need to visit downtown areas was eliminated. With the migration of consumers to suburban areas, secondary business districts popped up in suburban neighborhoods. Town centers also evolved in towns and suburbs peripheral to cities. SBDs and town centers have historically been significant to independently owned specialty stores and service retailers. To maintain their significance, some cities have opted to pass formula retail ordinances that maintain the character SBDs offer by restricting the development of chain stores. Currently, there are at least 9 California communities that have passed formula retail ordinances. Unplanned commercial districts are popular locations for freestanding stores, as these districts are often along busy roads in cities and towns. Freestanding stores are also known to be destination stores. In response to the influx of consumers relocating to suburban areas, real estate developers began building shopping centers. Shopping centers are commercial complexes with on-site parking. These centers are developed, owned, and managed as a unit. There are several different types of shopping centers that are characterized by their size and the type of tenants that occupy the space. Planned shopping centers consist of convenience centers, neighborhood centers, community centers, regional centers, and super regional centers. Convenience centers are going to be those centers that are less than 30,000 square feet of retail space. Their major tenants are often convenience stores. Neighborhood centers are between 30,000 to 150,000 square feet of retail space, with supermarkets and large drugstores as their major tenants. Their tenant mix also may include dry cleaners, shoe repair shops, and other service retailers. Community centers are going to be your large neighborhood centers that are between 100,000 to 350,000 square feet of retail space. Supermarkets and discounters are their major tenants, with the remaining mix consisting of specialty stores. Regional shopping centers are between 400,000 to 800,000 square feet of retail space. Department stores make up their major tenants, with specialty stores making up the remainder of the mix. These stores complement the variety of department stores. Super regional centers are larger than 800,000 square feet of retail space. Their major tenants are department stores that are also complemented by specialty stores. Food courts and various forms of entertainment are also commonly found in super regional centers. Strips and malls. Convenience centers, neighborhood centers, and community centers are considered strip centers. Strip centers are defined by their open-air canopy and off-the-street parking in front of the store. The first strip center, Country Club Plaza in Kansas City, was developed in 1922 by J.C. Nichols. The plaza was built to serve the affluent Country Club district. The nation's largest strip center, Weingarten Realty Investors, has more than 300 properties throughout the southern part of the U.S. Regional and super-regional centers are referred to as malls. Malls are roofed, climate-controlled properties containing a variety of retail tenants as well as restaurants. These properties have open-air or decked parking available to shoppers. The development of the interstate as a mode of transportation stimulated the growth of malls. In 1956, Southdale, the first enclosed shopping center, opened in Minneapolis. Inland Empire is home to a property owned by one of the world's leading mall developers, Simon Property Group. Can you name the property? Ontario Mills, located in Ontario, California. Meet me over in part 2 of the lecture to continue discussing retail locations.